Good morning, collective. Hello. How are we doing today? Thank you so much for all your love and support. We are so grateful. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that like button so people can find us in the algorithm. 44 on the clock. It truly, truly does help out the channel, and we really appreciate all of our supporters, all of our current subscribers. Thank you so much for tuning in with us and for joining us on these spiritual development reads we do. We're so grateful. My name is Patience. I'm your favorite spirit medium, host of Spirit News on Spotify and all major platforms, which you can find in the description bar through the link tree. We would love to have you. 111. We work with our very own spirit team, the Guild of the Golden Triangle, to bring forward knowledge and wisdom that they bestow upon me. We do not keep any knowledge that we get from them. And what we do is we put it into action. We ask for their guidance and trust that what we're receiving is true, as long as it comes from a heart space and we're not hurting anybody, we're not hurting ourselves, and we want to be of service. And then we see what happens, and we have found that we are truly blessed and highly favored. 144! 144 on the clock. And so we would absolutely love for you to be at our level of awareness, our level of consciousness, where we can find joy in any and all situations and choose joy consciously with a conscious awareness. And we put how we got there and the spirit nuggets that we receive, we put those on Spirit News, bringing you higher perspective of linear views with our psychic abilities, our spiritual abilities, which everybody has. Everybody has the ability to connect with your loved ones, with higher, loving, benevolent angels, ancestors, loved ones. Everybody has that ability, but you need to be in heart coherence first, so that way what you are connecting with is connected with you in that way, through the heart, through Christ consciousness. So that way you're not connecting with things that can trick you, so you can learn your discernment. So there is a difference. Everyone who connects with their loved ones is not evil. That's a misconception, which we're trying to debunk for you in real time. If you want to see more shortened spiritual nuggets that we get from Spirit News and from these readings, lessons learned that these loved ones and ancestors bestow upon us, you can find that on our TikTok, and we would love to have you. So we're here with a really heavy message. I had to shake it up a little bit because I was supposed to do this reading on Sunday, and I scheduled it for Sunday. We try to post for you guys. Oh, I got a hair out of place. We try to post for you guys every weekend morning, every Saturday, Sunday morning. We do that every weekend, and I will post the upcoming messages that we have, that we are called to bring forward. We'll post that for you. And so I posted the Idaho 4, which is the tragedy that happened at the Idaho College in 2022. So tragic. We posted that to do on Sunday. But Sunday came along and there were so many blockages, really heavy energy, that I decided to, or I listened to the signs and I just decided to push it back. And I didn't want to announce when I was going to do it again. No peace, no rest. Yeah, because that's really, there's something blocking me from doing it. So I was like, well, let me not announce when I'm doing it, and I'll just do it randomly, spontaneously, so that way it's not affected by the negative energy that's trying to prevent it from being heard or being healed. So today's that day. So I'm very happy to do so. I've actually been getting, it's so funny because we did the reading for Aaron Carter, and if you watch that reading, then you know that 222 kept showing up for me. 11, 222. This is my wife, guys, and I don't play about her. Wifey for lifey. I'm sorry I'm already married, but I'll be your spiritual wife. I'm here in spirit, doing wifey things, being a true blue wifey. So, Aaron Carter also passed away 11/20/22. which is very interesting. So I've been getting that. I even got it multiple times on the way home today from work. And also the names of the Idaho 4 is Madison, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. And I've been getting these names on the necrometer confirmation over and over and over again. And I kept saying to myself, I don't know anybody with these names. And instead of Xana, it was showing Xena. And I just think Xena because Xana Xana is not available in the necrometer. Not recognized. My computer just said USB device not recognized. It's not recognized in the necrometer. So they're here with us. And Spirit has told me to in order to heal, you got to reveal. So we're just revealing what needs to be healed, what hasn't been revealed. Whatever messages come forward, I have to say for legal purposes, I cannot prove. This is for entertainment purposes only, and it will be all allegedly. Okay, so I'm very excited to be here in this way, co-creating this magical way, bringing the messages forward, being a conduit for crossover loved ones who died so tragically that need to heal, that need to help others that love them heal. And that's what we're trying to do here. So we don't get paid for this. We don't we're not here for any kind of validation or I don't know, whatever clout. We're here to heal. We want to heal the collective because we're going from the head to the heart. And these are the things that happen when people are in a low consciousness where they're not consciously aware of how their actions impact others. And so we really want to heal that as we're moving into the new earth energies and we're co-creating in this magical way the new earth. We want to heal these old timelines. Okay. So Madison, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan, thank you so much for being with us. I invite you with Archangel Michael for protection into my energy. I'm truly favored and highly blessed, and I'm so grateful for all my blessings. I'm truly honored to bring the messages forward, and I'm happy to co-create with you. I hope that you bring me clear, concise messages. Please help me to bring whatever needs to be healed forward, and I'm happy to do so. Thank you so much. I love you. So, some of the things that I got the past week was computer programmer, and that doesn't have to be literal. It could be like symbolically, like what I get when I think of a computer programmer intuitively as somebody who's perhaps very focused, perhaps very reclusive, perhaps, kind of like a beautiful mind, just kind of like maybe even slightly autistic. I'm not saying every computer programmer is autistic. That's just what I'm getting from this energy and that label. Somebody who thinks like a computer programmer, perhaps very methodical, someone very strategic, someone who's more left brain than right brain, someone who could possibly not even be in touch with their emotions or have a lack of emotional intelligence. Okay. Also, something that happened that I wrote down because it was so weird. I don't even see red cars in my neighborhood ever, but this day last week I saw literally in a row within a 20-minute period 5 red cars. And I'm not saying a red car is involved in this, but there could have been a vehicle that was spotted multiple times within a short amount of time that was noticed but not really picked up on or thought of as being relevant to anything. It could have just been like I was just, I just got off of work, I was in the living room and I was just eating my lunch and I saw a bunch of red cars drive by that were different, and then what I was watching showed a few red cars, so it was like a weird, like I noticed it, but I wasn't like thinking, oh my god, there's somebody watching me or something, but that did come up, so I wanted to say that. Also what I got, why I got the question, why were they chosen? That's kind of like what to me is like a big mystery of this situation. Like, why them? Why were they targeted, or why were they chosen to even have this happen to? Like, what was it? What happened before? What came to be? Like, why? That's like the big question for me that I ask myself when it comes to this case. Why them? Why were they chosen? What's so special about them? What did they do? What was the connection? And we can't say for sure who did it. That's still going on in trial as we speak right now, so that's why anything we say is alleged. But the person that Spirit also said a reclusive man. So definitely a man. Someone who is isolated, separated from spirit, someone who may have sought revenge or was in an energy of revenge, which there is no energy in revenge. Revenge is not something that is suggested by Holy Divine Spirit. Revenge brings no comfort, only damage. It will never comfort you, even if you succeed at bringing down whatever revenge you seek. It's never satisfying. It's never going to fix. It's never going to change whatever emotions sparked that feeling. So I got that. And then I was cleaning up my area space and I was putting my Unfuck Yourself cards away, and one of them popped out, which kind of bummed me out because I don't take them out of this. I don't take them out, but I just shut it, and when I shut it, this was already out of it. And it says how language changes our lives. The way we talk to ourselves and others instantly shapes how we perceive life. And that same perception directly impacts our behavior right there in the moment. Ignore your perceptions at your peril. Even worse, live with the illusion that you don't have perceptions. So this is like a two-way street I'm getting with this message. For one, for the victims, their perception of somebody may have been, I don't know if all of them encountered this person and perceived them as like a non-player type of energy, like not even basically. And I'm not saying this to make the victims sound like bad people. I'm not saying that at all. I think that this could possibly end up being a lesson in the way we perceive people and how we treat them and how we talk to them, because you never know what person you're speaking to disrespectfully or like they don't exist, is going through, and how they're perceiving your actions. That's kind of like the vibe I'm getting. So it could have been, and we'll see as the cards get drawn. I'm not 100% sure, but the vibe I'm getting from this message is that, oh, there's something on the back that's like, oh my gosh, there's a page stuck to this. Your life is too important to let it pass by. Didn't I just say that? It was just stuck to this. And I went like this, and I saw writing on the back because of the light. And just like what I said, someone in this group of four, I don't know who, I don't think it's important who it was, may have treated somebody as if they didn't matter. Okay? Which is, that's why you have to be aware. You have to be consciously aware of the way you talk to people. And the golden rule, treat people how you want to be treated, because you don't know what someone's going through. You don't know where they're at in their consciousness. You don't know how they're perceiving that interaction. That could be the interaction that breaks them, that makes them snap. And I'm not saying it's their fault, but there's something about the way you treat people in this energy, okay? And that could be like a connection to why they were chosen, some kind of revenge or like, I'll show you, you want to treat me that way, you want to act like I don't exist, you want to, you know, something, some kind of rejection. Okay, that's what I'm getting. All right, so tell me, why were they chosen? Oh, and then the other way that I'm getting is whoever the perpetrator is, that they internalized this rejection, and because they already had a wound of not being worthy enough or not being important or constantly being treated or passed or rejected, basically, that they had that chip on their shoulder. So when they came across this these whoever who rejected them, it just amplified that chip on their shoulder that they already had there. So it was already a wound that was there, that was amplified by, you know, perhaps two pretty girls or something, you know, someone who rejected them and treated this perpetrator as if they're disgusting or something. And that's why you want to be careful the way that you treat people, not because you're going to get hurt, but because you could be interacting with somebody who is already hurt. And so hurt people. So that's the vibe I'm getting. Okay, so let's see, we'll do some word tiles. Okay, we'll do some word tiles, see if we can get some hits on that. All right, so we got Madison, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. I'm so sorry for your loss. This was a tragedy. Hopefully we can transmute it, reveal what needs to be healed, what the lesson is. So those who are experiencing, I don't know, hopefully you're not experiencing this, but just to bring awareness, you know, you have to reveal to heal. You have to bring conscious awareness to things that we aren't, just like this. It says, even worse, live with the illusion that you don't have perceptions. You know, not realizing the way that your behavior impacts other people. Okay? That's so funny, because I was thinking about somebody at work that I always think to myself, I wonder if they're aware of the way their behavior comes across to other people. I wonder if they know that. That's so funny that's coming up. I had no idea it would come to this reading. Spiders. Spiders. Torture. So spiders could represent, like, be a metaphor for like a weaving, like that. This is something that may have woven a web of torture, of thoughts. You know, someone's thoughts could have been weaving this intricate web that tortured them. Perhaps something about, I don't know, what's this torture? Alone. Oh, I cannot make it up, you guys. Alone, and I have isolated and separated. Right here, a reclusive man. I have right here. I wrote it down. I have alone, and right here, I have a reclusive man. And Spirit just said, true crime. And Spirit just said, names matter. People matter, you guys. People matter. We should not treat people as if they don't matter. So this person was weaving a web of torture, perhaps in his thoughts, perhaps being lonely, handsomely, because he wasn't considered handsome, or he didn't consider himself handsome, until, oh shit, until, what's this? Until checkers, until someone played him, until he became, someone played him, checkers, catch up. Someone he was chasing. Catch up. Someone he couldn't catch up to. Someone he was chasing. Insult. Ugh, insult. Someone who could have insulted him. I told you, this is that classic, like, you know, I have computer programmer here, so another thing that could be associated with computer programmer is hurt. Oh my gosh, insult, hurt, awful. Could be, you know, uh, it says reclusive man, so I'm going to say it. The perpetrator is a man who is rejected, somebody who's constantly rejected, somebody who perhaps could have been chasing somebody in this group, somebody who didn't, somebody who could have been playing with his emotions, somebody who could have liked attention. You know, that happens a lot when there's an insecurity and needing some kind of validation, where you'll seek attention in places and then not think about the repercussions of not following through, you know. And again, I'm not saying that it's anybody's fault. This is not something that should have happened, but we're transmuting it. Okay, this is something that I have secret right here. This is something that we're just trying to transmute. Drunks. Oh, drunk text. Perhaps drunk text or something they did when I have remember here. Gurgle, and Spirit said drunks and behavior. We have behavior twice. My God. There could be somebody here who, hardware, and I have computer programmer. There could be somebody here who led somebody on, who allowed someone to chase them. Perhaps they drunk texted them because they liked the attention that this person gave them. Maybe this person made them feel adored. Maybe this person would drunk text this perpetrator and give them the illusion that the illusion or the perception that they had a chance with this person. Okay, that they had a chance with this person, and that directly could have shaped the illusion that they had a chance, and they kept playing games with them, checkers. They kept playing games with them, and it was like torture. It was weaving this intricate web where he's constantly chasing this person, only to be insulted and hurt. And that may have happened, maybe, you know, consistently. This was a behavior that was done when drunk or when drinking. These were college kids, so it could have been, you know, every weekend, you know, someone that thought they had a chance with this person because when they were drunk, they'd get a drunk text and they would time-lapse photography. They would get attention from them, okay? There could have been someone in this group that's taking accountability, that they may have not thought about the impact of their behavior that they were in the moment of, and how it directly impacted this person who they actually in reality did not value. They were only using them for validation, for attention. Okay? That's what I got. Hi everybody, thanks for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Thoughtful in reverse. Yeah, someone who wasn't very thoughtful. Someone who didn't perceive the impact of this behavior. Okay, a daddy's girl. I got daddy right here. Daddy's girl. Okay? Or boy. Someone who's beautiful. Yep, I got beautiful right here. Someone who's beautiful. Yeah. Wreck. Someone who's a beautiful wreck. Someone who's a beautiful wreck. Someone who is supposed to be a friend. So they definitely knew this person outside of this situation. It might have been a secret, someone that was perpetuating a selfish behavior that wasn't aware of how their behavior was hurting somebody who thought they had a chance with them, but they used this person in order, not thoughtfully, not very thoughtfully, because they get what they want, because they could have daddy issues, or be a daddy's girl, or be a wreck when they're drunk. They could be a sloppy drunk, someone who's a thoughtless drunk, somebody who does strange things when they're drunk, like who knows. But it was a secret. It was a secret for sure. This was something that, it's kind of like when they're drunk, it's like drunk texting someone. But when they're not drunk and they see what they did, they're like, oh my God, they're kind of embarrassed. But this tortured this person, okay? That the fact that they thought that they were being led on, that there's this game being played, that they thought they had a chance, and it tortured this person. It was like spiders in their mind, and one minute they're being led to feel like they have a chance and that they're good enough for this person, and the next minute, they're realizing that this person doesn't care about them. And so it's like this weird, like, tug and pull. That's what it feels like. Okay. What else? Coffee. I just took a sip of my coffee. And Spirit said coffee. What else? Where should I go? I'm not sure where to go. Tell me about this. I don't know where to go. I have so many to choose from. You know what? Let's do Mind Trap. Okay, we'll do a Mind Trap, because this kind of is a Mind Trap. Okay. Mind Trap. Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. Thursday and Friday, the market is closed. Saturday, I told you the weekend, the doctor's office is closed. It is evident he cashed his check because he had more money in the evening than he did when he left in the morning. He got paid on Thursday and went to town on the following Tuesday when the bank, doctor's office, and market were all open. Oh, that was the answer. Oh shit, that was the answer. I was supposed to read the question first. When I was reading that, it gave me like tracking vibes, like following this person. There could be some kind of stalking going on. That could be the 5 red cars I saw. One of these victims could have saw this person multiple times throughout their week, but didn't think anything of it. Yes, you will. Thank you so much, Spirit. This person was purposely following one of these victims to try to run into them on purpose, because the only time that they would contact this perpetrator is when they were drunk, and then all the rest of the week it would be crickets. So they started that. This could be the spiders, the webbing, the weaving of a web, where they were thinking of ways, because they were being tortured with the thought of having a chance with one of these girls, is what I'm getting. It's definitely a woman, the perpetrator's a man, and then he's pursuing one of these girls. I don't know who. I don't think it's important who. I think, we're not here to cast blame on anyone. It's not about, this. It's nobody's fault. This is just what unhealed people do, and so we're trying to heal it. Okay. So that's so funny. I read the answer first. So that's what I'm getting from that. So he could have, she could have saw him multiple times, and just didn't think anything of it because, I mean, she probably doesn't. I have remember here, so she probably doesn't remember her behavior. Gurgle, yeah. She probably doesn't remember her behavior most of the time because she's drunk. And so when she sees him, she's not putting two and two together, but she's also not treating him the same as when she is drunk texting this person. So there's that. So he may have gone to shadow suspect shady. Another answer. Oh, and this says photograph, and Spirit said the time-lapse photography. So there could be a lot of time that he was giving this person to treat them like they're important, to show them that they actually want to pursue some kind of relationship or give him some kind of satisfaction. There could be some kind of time lapse about that where this continued to, it says torture. This could have been a lengthy amount of time before the camel, the straw broke the camel's back. Okay. Shadow suspects shady. Hairy foul, and that's so funny because shadow and shady. So, this perpetrator is definitely in his shadow. But this girl is being shady. So I'm not saying it's her fault. I'm just saying these are unhealed people, okay? Harry Fowl couldn't have told Shady he was going out to photograph birds. If he had, he would have not have headed east. With the sun rising in that direction, it would have been very difficult to see anything but the silhouettes of the birds, and of course impossible to photograph them. Yeah, there's some like stalking energy going on here. This perpetrator's in their shadow, and they have a chip on their shoulder about rejection, and they have attracted somebody to help them see that. They've attracted somebody who's shady, who is, I don't know if they are aware, because this says, the way we talk to others instantly shapes how we perceive life, and that same perception directly impacts our behavior right there in the moment. Ignore your perceptions at your peril. So she could have been ignoring the fact that what she was doing was wrong, leading this person on. It could have been a joke. She could have, told other people, and then as time progressed, as this was an ongoing behavior that she was exhibiting, being shady to this person, playing mind games, it could have been more difficult for her to see that she was being followed. She was very whichever victim this was very arrogant. Okay, she was being very arrogant. She was, I don't want to say enjoying the suffering of this person, but I just don't think that she saw that that's what she was doing, because she didn't interact with him at any other time, so how could she know? And he wasn't telling her, so she thought it was fun. It became like a game, like a cat and mouse game, and that's what makes her shady. It could be that she needed validation, or she enjoyed his chasing of her. The playing of the game could have excited her. Who knows? Either way, that's an unhealed, that's a wound, and you just can't do that to people. If she really wanted to not be shady, she should have told him right away, I'm not interested in you. Thank you so much for your consideration, but I'm not interested. Thank you so much. And instead, whatever she was doing, she did when she was drunk, because she knew it was wrong. That's why she knew it was wrong. And I'm sorry for whoever is connected to her. I'm not saying this, but she's not a bad person. She's just a young college kid having fun. That's all. She's just, you know, you don't know what you don't know. Shady said they had run out of water 3 days ago. If that was the case, Shady would have been dehydrated and would not have been perspiring when he jumped aboard the Coast Guard ship. That's so funny because I'm getting 3 answers here. Instead, there's supposed to be questions first. And I'm getting the answers. So there's something here about her lying to him. Her saying, yeah, brief. Yeah, I'll meet you here. Thank you. Yeah, I'll meet you here and we can meet up. And then he goes there and she's not there. You know, that could have happened a few times. And then she could have noticed that he's showing up everywhere I go throughout the week. So she started telling him she'll be somewhere, and so he doesn't see where she is or something like that. It says Shady said they had run out of water 3 days ago. So there's some kind of stalking going on here, you know, because he's being rejected. She's saying, "Oh, I'm busy. I can't hang out with you." You know, I instead of just saying, "No, I'm not interested," and just creating that boundary, she's perpetuating this game of cat and mouse, and he thinks it's serious. He thinks he has a chance with this person, and she could possibly kind of enjoy feeling wanted. It's about feeling wanted. What it comes down to, feeling needed, feeling wanted, feeling valuable. Yes to all. Thank you. Thank you. Not too bad. Thank you. He said not too bad. Thank you. I'm getting it. And so, you know, like I said, it doesn't matter which one it was, but she wants to take accountability now. Maybe that's why all the A's, A for accountability. She wants to take accountability because she played this game not thinking or being thoughtful of how it was affecting another human. She was playing mind games with somebody who is deeply in his shadow, who is already isolated and separated from anyone, to tell him, hey, this isn't normal. You're being a little, you know, clingy, you're being like a little stalkerish. He didn't have anybody. But he was really invested in this game because he's a computer programmer. He's a geek. He's a nerd. He doesn't have a game. He doesn't find himself attractive. He has a chip on his shoulder about that. And he attracted somebody who is taking advantage of his nerdiness, of his, you know, he's not good at game. He has no game. Okay? So that's the energy here. All right. So so we're to a point where the boundary hasn't been properly set for this person, because it's come to a point where, and it could even be where she felt bad. You know, she didn't want to hurt him. You know, eventually became to a point where she didn't want to hurt them. I'm beautiful and they're shady assholes. I have game. I'm acting in role. That's what they say. Hi, Reed. Hi, Reed. Thanks for being here. Good to see ya. Hope all is well. So I think it's a little bit of both. I think at first, you know, she enjoyed the attention. You know, oh, he's really obsessed with me. I really, you know, if it probably felt good to get the attention because she's a beautiful girl, you know, they're all beautiful. So, you know, I'm very good. I'm very well. Thank you. Hope all is well with you. And so she liked it. And she's a young college girl who likes attention. You know, who doesn't like to hear that they're beautiful and that they're awesome and that blah, 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 you know. And so So it started off that way, and then as time progressed, he probably became a bugaboo, bugging her all the time. He was showing up at all throughout the week in different times and places. She only contacts him when she's drunk, when she's feeling a little lonely, and she just wants a little of attention, wants someone to say that she's beautiful, that she's so special, that she's so blah blah blah, and then she starts having to lie to him. Oh, well, I'm busy. I can't talk to you this day because I'm doing this and that. And then he's stalking her. So he goes and finds out that she's lying to him. So that really is it's weaving this web that's it's happened over time. It's not something that was quick. It's something that was like building up. And she was, basically lying to him instead of just saying, I'm not interested in you, because it's too, how can you say you're not interested when you've been secretly telling him this whole time, like, oh, you're so sweet to me, I really appreciate all those nice things you say, do you really think I'm beautiful, oh, you really think that I'm the hottest girl in school, those are just examples, but though, she got herself into a mess, okay? So then what? Okay, where are we at now? Oh. Then what happened? So he's in stalker mode. He's in his shadow. He has a chip on his shoulder. He has a chip of rejection, a wound of rejection. Okay. He has a wound of rejection. He's in his shadow. He's following her, growing up in reverse, wanting to grow and experience rejection. I cannot make it up. Rejection. It's in reverse. He didn't want to be rejected. There's something having to do with immaturity. She felt bad rejecting him because she was perpetually being immature and having an immature mindset of needing validation, needing attention, and then it got to a point where, she realized this guy's getting, kind of clingy, kind of like really taking this for real. So she started having to lie to him. Then he started to find out because he's following her. Choices in reverse. Feeling blocked, restrained. Yeah, she felt, just like I said, it got to a point where instead of making that hard choice to just say, hey, I'm not interested in you, she couldn't do it. She didn't have the courage to just say, I fucked up. I know that I made you feel like I liked you and that you had a chance, but I'm really not interested. And then instead of just telling him that, the lack of telling him, this person who's already somebody who's very isolated and separated, someone who has a wound of rejection, someone who's very literal, who's very literal and who doesn't know who's not emotionally intelligent. He wasn't reading the room, okay? She was lying to him, eventually, basically blowing him off, and he wasn't getting it. And that was her choice. That was her choice to do that. She wants to take accountability for that. Tell me what you want us to know. What else? You can't go back to yesterday. I can't make it up. She fucked up. She fucked up by petting an eagle, by petting an animal. She fucked up. Giving this person hope that he had a chance for her own thoughtless, selfish needs and wants of validation. And she wants people to know that. Wake up. Wake up. You can't treat people like that. I want to be queen. I want to be queen. You can't. Apocalyptic future. Her actions directly are related to the apocalyptic future that played out. Because you can't treat people like that. You really just can't do that. Your life is too important to let it pass by. You can't use people as some kind of validation button where anytime you feel less than, or you're lonely, or you need attention, you click the button and the person who you're trailing along pops up and says, "Oh, you're so beautiful, you're so awesome, you're so smart, you're the prettiest girl in school, I can't believe that you like me, I want to, you're the best woman I've ever met." Whatever was being said to make her feel validated in that moment. It says right here, the way we talk to ourselves and others instantly shapes how we perceive life, and that same perception directly impacts our behavior right there in the moment. Ignore your perceptions at your peril. She knew this was wrong, but she didn't care because she was just being selfish, okay? And I'm not saying this at all to say it's her fault and she deserved this. This was absolutely not what I'm saying. I'm saying that this is the truth. This is the truth of the matter. Right away, there could have been a message. Investigate, look closely, ask questions, think before acting. She could have sent this person a final message of rejection, painting the roses red. I cannot make it up. Covering up errors. There could be some kind of messages where she finally had to say, "I'm not interested. Leave me alone. You keep following me everywhere." 1900s. You keep following me around everywhere, and I'm not interested in you. She could have rejected him too hard, too much, at the wrong time. It was bad timing. Okay, she was trying to fix her errors because she already painted the roses red. She was already playing a game, okay? Playing a game, making it look like something it wasn't. She knew the whole time she never wanted to be with this person. She never wanted to even kiss this person, hug this person. It was purely for instant gratification of attention, and when she's drunk, mostly. Okay, so he could have sent her a message. This is a princess and a frog. He could have sent her a message saying, "I want to be with you. I really care about you. What's the deal?" This could have took a lot for him to do that. Almost like to a debilitating level. And she could have definitely didn't think before she acted, think before acting. This was definitely what snapped in this person, because she said, "What? Not interested in you. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, you weirdo," or whatever she said to reject him. That could have been very harsh, very hurtful, very insulting. Very confusing for this person, because you've been basically making them think they had a chance with you this whole time. So it definitely caused some kind of break. Okay, we're all mad here. I cannot make it up. As I say, it caused a break. It caused a mental break. It broke this person down. It was the last straw. Change in the night. I cannot make it up. This person decided quickly after stalking this person and basically tracking their movements and their schedule and knowing where they're going to be and how long they're going to be there and who they're with and where they live. Yeah, this person decided in that moment that they wanted revenge, basically. That they wanted revenge. You have changed quickly. This was a vow. Yeah, this perpetrator, the minute they got rejected by this person, the way that they did, I think it was very hurtful. I think it was very quick. I think it was very sudden. It was after he put his heart on his sleeve and he sent some kind of message of devotion. This one of the victims was like, "Oh hell's no, this has to end." It may have a stubbornness. Yeah, it may have selfish, mutish attitude, arrogance. Didn't I say arrogance? May have rejected him quite harshly, and in that moment he vowed, you know, she was into him because he would basically worship her. He was like, a cat and mouse. He was on his knees, begging her for her affection, saying, you're the best and you're so beautiful and there's no one as beautiful as you, and and he thought he hit the jackpot. He thought this was going to be her sweetheart. He thought he was worthy of her love, and that but he has a mental illness. Okay? He's never been in this situation where such a beautiful girl showed him so much attention. He could have even had dreams of grandeur, of, being with this person. And that's why it says right here, even worse, live with the illusion that you don't have perceptions. Ignore your perceptions at your peril. So, what happened that night? What happened that night? Tell me. What happened that night? What do you think I should do? Tell me what happened that night. Oh my gosh, look, there's a red car right here. There's a red car right here. Didn't I say there were 5 red cars I saw? So the car doesn't have to be red. It can be any color. Oh, this is interesting. Look at this. There were 4 victims. This is the perpetrator with the weapon. This is one of the girl that we're talking about. That's part of the victims. And look, those are the roommates. I cannot make it up, you guys. I can't say for sure, but they could have been sleeping together. I don't know. I don't want to say for sure, but what I do know from this energy is that it was some kind of cat and mouse game, okay? But this person came over, probably entered through a window. Entered through a window, could have knocked something over, startled somebody, made his... I don't think that this person meant to do this. I don't think this person meant to have to go to how it ended, because it looks like they knocked something over when they went into the window, and it woke people up, or it brought attention to them. There could have been some kind of back and forth, or I don't know, some kind of mess they made that brought attention to that they were there. They could have had some kind of, I don't know, outfit on, or This person's all in white with a hat on, with a weapon running towards somebody who looks like they're sleeping. This perpetrator did not intend to take all of these victims. I believe that in an emotional time, in an impulsive decision, because of a wound of rejection, this person was obsessed with this person. They thought they were being led on, and it really just tortured them. It brought them to this place of obsession, of needing to know the truth of and then they finally got rejected, and they went to this person's house because they're stalking this person. They know where they go, they know where they eat, they know who their friends are, they know where they live. They snuck in through the window. They made a noise because they're unaware of the surroundings. It could have been dark. They might not have been able to see. They might not. Decisively, thank you. Controlling the depths. They made an impulsive decision to attack the person they were talking to. But because they made such a mess, and this was such a random, they didn't have it planned out. They didn't know the layout of the place they were going to. They made a mess. They made a noise. There were people up, probably staying up late or having fun because they're laughing. They could have laughed at this person, or saw that this person was trying to hurt somebody who is sleeping, because this person's eyes are closed. This dog's eyes are closed, and it looks like they're on a cake, but it also looks like a pillow. They could have witnessed this, and so the natural thing in their mind, in their shadow aspect mind, is to just, end all the people, so that way nobody knows who it was that was there. Okay? Oh. Oh my God, stop it. Look at red car and freaking bird watching. This says right here, he was going out to photograph birds, and this says bird watching. This person, the perpetrator, has photographs of the person that was one of these victims, or the person who caused this person to come over in this energy, okay, in this emotional reactivity. There's some kind of photograph of them stalking this person. This person is connected. There's 4 people who saw them attack somebody, so I don't know if I know there's multiple roommates in this situation. The 4 victims that were ended may have been witness to the actual roommate that was targeted, or something like that. One of the roommates knows something, or this perpetrator has photos of the roommate they were stalking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there were definitely some innocent bystanders in this situation that were just at the wrong place at the wrong time. That, I can't make it up. That were witness to somebody who broke in, and this person was just unhinged. They were just an unhinged person. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. They were tired of putting up with this person who kept egging them on, and they got rejected. Okay? They got rejected. Something about a red car. Something about a red car and being watched and photographs being taken. Multiple photographs being taken. So I don't know if one of these roommates should hand in their phone or they need to get their phones looked through, or the perpetrator has pictures on their phone of the main person, this female energy that was playing games with them, that basically were not thoughtful of how their behavior was impacting their future timeline, and were not treating this person like they were a human. And okay. So we know how it ends. We don't have to go into that. We know how it ends. We know that this crossover person wants to take accountability, or they could be letting us know of somebody in this dynamic, perhaps another roommate in the house who was the actual target. I'm not sure. It's it's a lot of energies, and I'm not exactly sure, because there's 4 people watching and then 1 person asleep right here. So, I'm not sure. I'm not 100. I don't watch the complete details of the cases we do, because I don't want to be led, and I don't want to be led with the information the moment it happened. This was an impulsive decision based on a wound of rejection, of torture, being tortured. Okay, and I'm not excusing it. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying that it's anybody's fault. I'm just saying this is why we reveal these things, to heal the emotion, because if this person had realized their own worth and their own value, they didn't have that chip on their shoulder, they would have understood that this person, this woman that's playing this game with you, doesn't care about you, and that you are valuable enough to not put up with it. And they could have set a boundary as well. Well, if you're not gonna move forward with your games, and you only text me when you're drunk, then I'm just gonna move on from you. You're not worth my time. I'm a valuable person, and I want somebody who knows my value. And on the flip side, this college young girl who is looking to be worshipped by this person, was enjoying the attention instead of saying flat out, I'm not interested in you. She took advantage of that. And so that's what led to this. So that's what we're revealing. That's the truth about the matter. So how can we heal it? How can we heal it? What's the advice? How can we heal it? How can we heal it? What would you have done differently, knowing what you know now? You will soon be surprised and grateful for how everything happened the way it did, for you to receive better and greater. It's all adding up in your favor. Trust the process and how things are unfolding for you. In your journey, there will be times when you feel lost, confused, lonely, and angry. These are times of transition. You won't feel those emotions forever. You are transitioning to a better, stronger version of yourself. Shed away these unneeded layers and keep growing. Yeah, gotcha. I gotcha. So, okay. So this perpetrator was in an energy of feeling lonely, of feeling angry, of feeling unworthy, of feeling like they were isolated, like nobody understands them. They are perhaps could have been rejected many times, and so they attracted an energy that thrived off of their thirst. It was a thirst trap. And they attracted that because not to get them to this level of emotional reactivity, but to help them see their value and their worth, to help trigger within them the idea that they are worthy, that they have a lot going for them, that they are valuable, that they are grateful for where they're at. And that's the lesson here. When you come into contact, or when you attract energies that is activating whatever wounds are within you that need to be healed, it's up to you to know that you deserve better, that you are worthy of love. And if this person elicits feelings of confusion, of anger, of frustration, then that's a sign that that's not for you. But it's for you to understand that you don't like that. And so this person makes me feel these things and I don't like it. So I'm going to know that this is a person I need to create boundaries with, that doesn't make me feel safe. When somebody who truly cares about you, you will feel heard, safe. You will feel like they want to meet you where you're at. They want to meet you halfway. They want to understand you. They want to talk to you. They're eager to talk to you. They're excited. They don't just call you up when they're drunk. They don't just tell you how great you are when they're inebriated. They actually call you throughout the week and meet up with you, and they don't lie to you. These are things you have to take into consideration. So you're everybody's favored. Everybody is worthy. Everybody is pure positive energy having a human experience. You are not the things that happened to you when you were young. You are not the people who reject you. If you're being rejected by somebody, take that as a sign that you're being protected from them, that they're not for you. Anyone who's for you will not reject you. And that's the lesson. You are meant to feel these emotions, not to dwell on them or to focus on them or to think that that's who you are. You're not anger, you're not lonely, you're not confused. Those are just momentary moments of a moment that's trying to tell you this is happening and you need to redirect your emotions. You need to get this person out of your life. You need to set a boundary with this person. So both of these, the victim and the perpetrator, were both shown multiple times that this isn't a working symbiotic relationship. This is a cat and mouse game. This is a game that this girl's playing, and you keep on taking the bait. You keep on allowing this person to bait you with the thoughts, your delusions of grandeur, thinking that you're going to get some kind of false relationship from this false hope, and it was playing on his wounds of rejection. Okay, so the lesson is to know your emotions, be emotionally intelligent, understand your emotions at such a deep level that when they're trying to tell you something's not good for you, those are your negative emotions. But it doesn't mean you're going to feel that way forever. It means there's something there that you need to look at. Okay, if this person would have just positive, thank you. If this person would have just put up a boundary with this girl and said, fuck you, girl, you keep on pulling me along, I'm not going to put up with that. Instead, he let her drag him around town and pretend that he had a chance. Okay, and for her to be so insecure that she needed to have this man worship her and use him for validation, that's another wound. Okay, a wound of supposedly, yeah, that's another wound. Abandoned. I was just gonna say, a wound of abandonment. She was not self-aware enough to understand the impact of her behavior, of her selfish behavior, of needing validation and needing to feel worshipped or loved by this person. She got off on it. Okay, so that's That's another lesson. Like, be grateful for what you have. You're a pretty girl, you're in college, everyone thinks that you're hot shit. Isn't that enough? Like, how much more attention do you need? How, if you find that it's never enough, you're insatiable with the amount of attention you need from the opposite sex, take that as a sign that you have an unhealed wound and you need to heal that, because the impact of your behavior, of your actions, could have dire consequences when you treat people as if they're just some kind of vending machine to validate you. That's not right. You can't do that. Okay? Thank you so much to the Idaho 4, Madison, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. Thank you so much for coming through. I'm so grateful for the messages, and I hope it helps in any way. I love you. Bye.